wasn't crazy heavy, but for an old guy coming back from injuries, hasn't lifted heavy for a long time. I mean, God, before I had the slap tear, talking, I think the slap tear happened around 2015 maybe. Was it 2015? I don't even know. 2016, 2015. But before I had the slap tear, yeah, I mean, I never even went under 400 pounds every single week when I benched. And I would do pauses. And I used to be, I think I'm funny. If you ever met me in person, you probably know I think I'm funny. I crack myself up. Not everybody thinks I'm funny, but I think I'm really funny. I've even thought about doing stand-up. I mean, that's how funny I think I am. But I'm not saying I am that funny. I'm saying to me I am. It might be that I'm just easily amused. And I amuse myself, which I guess that's not bad, right? But, even Val would attest that, when we were training partners, I always, bench day, I never went under 400 pounds. And I used to pretend I was stuck because I'd be like this big old guy in the gym. And, there's like a stigma that big guys, we really aren't strong, that it's just for show, it's not real. And as if the strength didn't generate the muscle, which it does. You no matter how you do it or how you get there, you experience a strength increase first, and then that generates the adaptive response to get bigger muscle. But yeah, and it's just self-replicating or generating or whatever if you keep on that path. But I used to put I'd get like 315 on there, 365. Usually I get to like 365. And I'd bring it down for I'd stop on my chest. I'd go, oh, I'm stuck, kick my feet. And somebody would notice, one of these young bucks would, and I'd be like, just kidding, psych, press it up, rack it. Then I'd put like 4 or 5 on there, then I'd get under there. Then I'd take it off. And then I'd get down here where they'd be like, oh man, now I really am stuck. And then of course I would press it back up off of me. But I know it's not funny, right? It's stupid. But I used to think it was funny. Just one of the many little teeny things that I amused myself with. But now I would be stuck probably, I don't know. So here's what it is. I always swore I'd never make concessions because I always felt that once you begin to make concessions for the degradation, physical degradation of age, that it's all downhill from there. And I was right, it is, but I have made concessions. I found ways to work around a lot of things. And what are you going to do? What's the alternative? Just to give it up? Just to stop? Why? Why? It adds so much to your quality of life. Why would you stop? It's like anything you do, man. It's like anything that you do. Brother Brian, up there in the Poconos, right? He lost a lot of years out of his life to going down a rocky road, wrong road, right? So he fought back from that, and he's reclaimed his life. And he's to me, he's still young, you know what I mean? But he's doing, he does ATV racing, like on a high level, like quite sophisticated, these hopped up ATVs. He used to race motocross and all that kind of stuff. And so he still does that. And, I don't know, maybe response from people or something, some people, I don't know. But he seems occasionally second guess that, and he'll ask, do you think it's kind of foolish or whatever to chase after something like this or to engage this kind of thing at this level at my age? It's like, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. That's what society, it seems to be in this country, that they're trying to push on you that it's an ageist thing. You get a certain age and that you can't do it anymore. Oh, you shouldn't do that anymore. You're too old for that. Who says? Last time I checked, I'm still alive. I'm still here. Why can't I do that? I've had doctors in the medical community, the largest proportion of those who have seen me will say, they'll tell me I'm in exceptional condition, but at the same time, when I'm complaining about something like the knee or something like that, they'll be like, well, it's going to hurt. You're getting older. Maybe you don't need to do. The implication is right there that they're basically saying to me, you're almost 60. Do you really need to still be able to do that? Like, yeah. Would you be asking me that question if I was 30? You know what I mean? Your life is still your life and has the same value to you whether you're 30, whether you're 60 or older or younger, right? So if you have a passion, you find some, and I'll tell you what, the working out aspect, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to come out and I'll be the first to admit that I wish that I hadn't pursued this to the degree that I have back in the day. I wish that I had stuck to fighting. I wish I had stayed, to martial arts. I wish I had stayed in that game because it kept me in better shape. I was in better shape. I was smaller, but I was in better shape. But like I've said before, if you haven't heard the story, I had already been fighting a long time at a high level. So it wasn't like I didn't know how to fight. It wasn't like any of that was new to me. It wasn't new to me. I trained hard to get to where I had gotten. And the weightlifting was a new thing. So I came to weightlifting through an injury, rehabilitation of an injury of all things. I tore MCL in my right leg. So at that time, the surgery was very shaky, only 50% success rate. 50% chance you'd walk on a cane the rest of your life. They used to use cadaver donor connective tissue back then. It's not as sophisticated as it is today. And so I said, well, I think I'm going to try my own luck first. How much worse can I do? You know what I mean? And I didn't like those odds. It took me 2 years, but I rehabbed that leg to the point where I could fight again with it. I could torque on it, twist on it, and I could do all kind of craziness with it. But it was a long, slow, painful process, but I was young. I was very young. And that got me into weightlifting because I was using weights. Started out just swinging my foot off the end of a table, sitting on a table. Then I would put an ankle weight. Then I moved to an ankle weight, 5-pound ankle weight, 10-pound ankle weight. Swing, extending my knee, my leg on the edge of a table. Then I graduated to using weights, very light. But the thing is, my body responded to it. I started to look better, in my opinion. So I started working everything. And I grew. I'm not saying I grew a ton. I remember when I got to be 160 pounds, I thought I was getting big. When I was 170, I knew I was big. But I enjoyed it. It was new to me. I was always a really skinny guy. I had abs. I had abs when I was like 13 years old from all the abdominal and core work, we did. Fighting, all that core work. But you can see my ribs too. I was always skinny. So I didn't, I was self-conscious about my physical appearance. A skinny kid, fast metabolism, very active, didn't know how to eat. And the weightlifting was new to me. And it was making changes in my body that I really liked. The fighting thing was an old hat. I've been doing it so long. So for a while I did both together, and I got to like 170 pounds, and I couldn't get any bigger. I couldn't get any bigger doing both together because one was just too aerobic. I didn't understand. I didn't know enough then that I could, I wasn't eating, my nutrition wasn't keeping up with my training, keeping pace with my training, the things I was trying to do. I was doing too much activity. So I stopped fighting. I stopped training in that regard. I stopped all of it. Why? Well, just because I had already been doing it so long. But this was a new thing, this other thing, this lifting the weights was a new thing to me. I never thought I was going to be huge. I never had any aspiration to get huge. I never wanted to have 20-inch arms, 18-inch arms, 23-inch arms. I never wanted to be that big. I didn't want to do that. I never wanted to have like 33-inch thighs. I never wanted to have 27-inch thighs. Nothing was set in particular as far as a goal. It was just to improve my appearance, my physical appearance. Just to put some size on. Like I said, when I was 170, I thought it was huge in relative comparison to where it came from. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I'm sure you're bored with it and already heard it. I'm going to get into the house. I'm going to try and pick up a phone. I'm going to go get me a cheesy phone from Walmart, something I can use with a speaker, and I'm going to post. If you're watching this video, then you're one up, because I'm going to post in the description of this video. Not right now. I'm going to go post the video right now, upload it. I don't have the phone yet, but I'm going to go get the phone after I post this video, and I'll put in the description of this video the phone number. And if you call that phone number tonight at, say, 10 p.m., between 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., if you call around those times, you'll make it on the video for the Saturday Night Shit Show or You know, shooting the shit Saturday night, whatever you want to call it. Shit show's probably more appropriate, but yeah, we're gonna do one tonight. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go in and put this up. So keep your eyes out here if you're interested, and I will, you know, call for anything. We'll just shoot the shit, talk about bikes, talk about turning wrenches, talk about lifting weights, talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't give a shit. Breastises, I don't care. I got some big breastises waiting for me right now. I got to put them on the grill. I grill them big breastises up. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a great weekend so far.